Welcome to food plot season. We're into that part of the year now where it's getting to be a little bit late for planting big and beastie. We're at the middle of August now, and in the northern sections of the United States, we're pushing that into that window for planting big and beastie. We're still doing a little bit of it here in Iowa, but we're really starting to taper that down in favor of some of the Frigid Forage food plot seeds that germinate quickly and grow fast, that are a little bit more geared for the late summer planting. And in talking about that, we're going to be touching on the Autumn quick plot today. And that's one of the blends that falls into that category. And it's really effective from the standpoint of providing something green, lush, attractive in an area that you really want to position the deer. It may not be the perfect plot for feeding a lot of deer. You know, we like big and beastie for that because it does produce so much tonnage. You got a lot of food there. You can feed a lot of deer with it through the whole winter. The Autumn quick plot, as the name implies, is a quick plot. It grows quick, gets up quick, does a really nice job of producing some green forage early in the season, October, November, maybe early December. In the areas where I hunt, that's kind of one time frame, obviously, when I'm in the woods a lot. So if you can't get in and get the big and beastie planted in time, this is a good alternative. And that's the role that it's serving on our farm this year. We've got a 1 acre plot. It was soybeans. They just did not grow well. I'm not sure why. I don't think there's any issue with the soil. We did test it and everything kind of came through okay on that. It could just be that the deer were hitting it a little bit too hard and the beans just never got a good start. So rather than having a food plot with 4-inch tall or 5-inch tall soybeans throughout the fall, which literally that'll get wiped out just as soon as you start to get a little bit of cold temperatures. The deer are just going to clean that right up. We went ahead and tilled that up, and we're putting the Autumn quick plot in this location. So let's talk a little bit about what's in here. And I'll read it right off the bag. We've got winter peas, winter wheat, winter rye, daikon radish, and forage brassicas. And you're going to get some decent tonnage out of the radishes and the brassicas. The winter peas, they're not going to grow tall like they would if they were planted earlier in the year. So you're going to look at something that's a fairly smaller type planting. Obviously your winter wheat and your winter rye, being cereal grains, they're going to pop up quick and they're going to grow fast, but there's only so much tonnage you're going to get out of a cereal grain. You're not going to get the big leaves and lots of food right there. So this is not the plot that you're going to plant to sustain the deer through the whole fall, winter, and early spring. This is the plot that you're going to plant, or the seed that you're going to plant, if you really want to transition the deer off the larger food sources that they've been feeding on during the summer into a smaller, easier to hunt type of location. Autumn quick plot also serves a nice role as a cover crop if you're going to be planting clover into a spot during the late summer. And this is something that we do a fair amount here. When you're going to have a clover rotation coming in, especially if you've had, let's say, beans in there like we've got here where you can till it up, or if it was an existing clover plot and you go in and spray it with Roundup and kill it, then you till it up and you run through that. You got to kind of take the soil through a cycle. This makes a nice fall food source, attractant, cover crop, and you can plant clover at the same time, and then your clover gets a really nice jump start the next spring. The winter wheat and the winter rye tend to serve as, I won't call them herbicides, but they tend to suppress the weed growth, and the clover can really get a nice start in the spring. So it makes a lot of sense as a cover crop. So that's one way you can use this in addition to just being an attractive food plot. Some planting tips: 25 pounds per acre. This bag is 8.5 pounds, so it does roughly 1/3 of an acre. You want to till the soil up, ideally, and you want to create a seed bed where some of these larger cereal grain seeds can get embedded and get some nice seed to soil contact. It does like fertilizer, so a triple 19 that you can buy at most co-ops, most lawn supply outlets, that's going to get you through on this. 100 pounds per acre or a little bit more. 200 pounds per acre would be ideal. That would give you 38 units of nitrogen per acre. Okay, I talked about tillage. You broadcast the seed, and then, if you've got a drill, this works really nice with the drill. That's the ideal way to plant. You'd like to get really good seed to soil contact, so putting the seed in, very shallow, or putting it into the top and really packing it in with the cultipacker is a great system. If you don't have access to some kind of a drill, you can broadcast it, and then you can go ahead and just lightly drag. I've seen people use tree branches pulled behind an ATV. Some people use metal fence panel, like a calf panel. There's lots of different ways that you can drag this seed into a very shallow depth. So that's the whole inside on Autumn Quick Plot. It serves a great purpose. It jumps up quick. If you're a little bit late in getting your food plot started, this is the perfect blend for you. So hopefully you have some success with it this fall, and I appreciate you joining us this week. And we'll see you back here again in the future for another episode of the food plot season right here at frigidforage.com.